YouTube, what's up, what's happening? Here I am bringing you another video, and just want to bring you guys a quick video on a product sent to me. Again, the company Sagola, they contacted me, sent me out this stuff, but that doesn't mean I have to say anything special or anything about this, but I'm about to drop some really special love on this compressor right here. This is the Sagola CP2000. As you can see there on the side. It's a really small compressor. It's really quiet, and if you've watched my how to pick an airbrush compressor videos in the past, I've always recommended something with a tank, something big, something, the bigger the better, basically. And for the most part, I still recommend that. If you can get a big compressor, I would totally go for it. But big compressors have their limitations, right? So their size, obviously, you can't just transporting them is a problem. Moving them even inside your house, having space for one is sometimes kind of difficult. Two would be the noise, right? So sometimes big compressors, they're really noisy. So if you have like an at-home studio in an apartment or something like that, it's out of the question having a big noisy compressor going and stuff. And those are usually the two biggest drawbacks. So they're really heavy, really big. They take up a lot of space, and they're really noisy. So they are what they are. I usually set one really far away. I have one set in my basement right now, a really big one, and that's what we use for continuous air here at my little studio. And it provides up to 90 pounds of pressure, steady air all the time, which is way more than I ever need because I don't ever use that much pressure. But it's just nice to have, I guess. But if I've always ran into a problem with events, going to an event or painting at the market and stuff like that. These little compressors, they're usually really good. They're really quiet, but I've run into tons of problems with these. I've used the Iwata Medea ones, fucking like those diaphragm ones hooked up to a tank. Like I've tried my own, and usually it just ends up horribly. It ends up overheating or it ends up breaking, because a lot of times I will be so busy I don't have a chance to stop. Like I will get a 5-minute break, or I'll be eating while I'm painting, that kind of stuff. So it's really hard for me to use one of these. Most of the time they completely fail. That being said, I went to an event this weekend and I decided to give this baby a try. I was like, let's do it. Let's give it a shot. Let's not rule it out right away, and let's give it a shot. It's a 4-hour event, and usually by a 4-hour event, it'd kill just about any of my compressors. So I usually take 2 compressors, and when one overheats, I switch over to the other one, quick disconnect, bam, ready to go, And that's usually how I handle something like that. If I'm super busy like that. This is a prepaid event, so all of the items I'm painting are free. People just walk up and ask what they want. So there is no delay. I had stacks of stuff waiting for me to paint. So I was continuously pulling 45 psi, 40 to 45 psi out of this for 4 hours straight. It got hot, no doubt it was hot, but it did not quit. It did not underperform. It did not leave me stranded. I had a backup, of course. I had a backup ready, but I never had to use it. I was blown away, and that's just real life use. I'm not trying to, build this up more than it is, but to me, this is the only compressor I've tried that's actually lasted me through an event like that. And I'm talking about, I've used like DeWalt compressors, Cobalt compressors, like really, construction grade, industrial grade compressors. And they'll get hot, and they'll overheat, they'll shut off, they'll need a cool, and then you hit the reset and they start back up. And usually it's a pain if you don't have an extra one, but we usually carry extras, so but it's still a pain to have to stop everything you're doing, or you don't even realize that it's not going off no more. Your air pressure is low, and then you're like, what's happening? you go and check your compressor and you realize it's overheating, it's burning up, you know, and you know, you're either left with trying to fan it off or replacing it. So it's a mess. But this thing, it performs so damn good. I don't know how to tell you that if you could get one of these, it'll probably be the last compressor you'll buy for airbrushing. Plain as that. It works really good. It has its own built-in water filter, you can see there, and it uses a twin pump design. So it fills the little tank here, it fills it like right away. I'm talking about 15-20 seconds. The little tank is full, and it provides more than enough pressure for me to work, at least. And it didn't use a ton of power. I didn't have to run off of a special plug, all that jazz, you know, that I have to deal with usually on a big compressor. I like that it has these up here for your airbrushes. Again, I didn't use these, but it's cool if you don't have a place for your airbrushes. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I can't tell you guys how this blew me away. This company, I would say, had a lot of confidence in their products, sending it over like that, and I honestly don't know what to say. It really overperformed. And honestly, I've noticed ways they can make it better, because it was running, you know, warm to the touch. It wasn't like burning up or anything. But there are some vents that are covered up by these stickers here that I plan to, you know, remove these stickers, and I'll probably paint this outside part. But there are some vents that are covered here on both sides for the stickers, so I do believe there's additional cooling that could be brought to it, which would make it even perform just a slight better, even if it's just slightly, you know, a few degrees difference. It's still a few degrees. But all in all, they say this goes for about $250, or, you know, your regional equivalent, and I would say it's worth every single penny. It's really high quality. And yeah, I don't have any bad things to say about this at all. The only thing I would want more, because, you know, it is kind of expensive, is, you know, you do have these two slots that come with it, but there's only comes with one outlet. Again, this is very small, minor, little tiny complaint, but, you know, if you're gonna have two of these, it'd be nice if it had two outlets. That's it. Like, that's me really wanting more, but this is actually really quite good on its own. I'll have a link to it in the description, and you know, it's kind of hard to review a compressor because I'm not running it for you or anything like that, but it is really quiet, quieter than any of those big huge compressors, and it did better than those. Again, just for straight airbrushing. I was not using a big spray gun or anything like that. So if you have like a little home studio, or if you're, you know, painting at like the flea markets and stuff like that, something like this is like perfect. It's quiet, it's discreet, it's small, and it provides enough air for you to spray all day, which is all you need. So yeah, I'm super ecstatic. I'm really glad they sent me this. I'm giving this a paint job, and, you know, making this my own, of course. And I totally recommend it. If you could get yourself one of these CP2000s, I'm not sure if it's based off of something else. I do believe this is their own original product from what I've seen. So, you know, try it, and I totally recommend it, basically. See you in the next video. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. I know this is not, you know, totally all about airbrushing, but a good compressor, you know, goes a long ways with your airbrush. So this is a good quality air compressor. It costs just about as much as a good, you know, pancake compressor, so something to keep in mind. But yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.